I want you to know like my stance and where I am. I had gender dysphoria. And I think gender dysphoria is something that if you're transgender, you all have gender dysphoria. You don't have transgender. Transgender is like the end result of the high level gender dysphoria, is the gender identity disorder. And it's something that you can work with. Now, for me, most of the life, I was between, and I'm going to do a 100 scale. I was like maybe a 10, I was a 15, I was a 20. Sometimes when I was like anxiety or I was stressed out or whatever, I might be like a 20 with identity going, there's something going on. But then when I retired, it was pegging way up there. I was like maybe 60% because I was just fed up with everything. And I also went through a lot too in my life that just made me start hating myself, which is kind of what all of the universities seem to be teaching really well these days, is how to hate each other. And which I quit school. I was doing my master's in mental health counseling, and I 100% quit school over a philosophical argument with a teacher. They were teaching CRT, this professor, and the professor started out as a third grade teacher and now is a professor in college, and it was still third grade levels crap. They're teaching this hatred against the entire white race. Every time she would say anything about white people, it was like, white people. And it was like, yeah, but I'm white and I don't hate myself. Well, I do sometimes. I mean, I do dumb stuff. Don't we all,
Yeah.
But I don't generally hate myself. I don't hate white people. I don't hate black people. I don't hate Asian people. I don't hate anybody, flat out. That's ridiculous. Who in this world, I doubt anyone truly hates everyone from an entire sect of people, and hate a label or hate something that I'm born with. I hate you because you have brown eyes. Well, I hate you because you have blue eyes. It's the same thing. I'm born how I am, and you're going to hate me because I was born? Come on. But that's what they're teaching at universities. So when they started really hammering that, I wrote a paper. It was an opinion paper. And my opinion is my opinion. And if you say it's an opinion paper, how are you going to grade me and give me a 50% out of 100 for my opinion?
Yep.
It was a punishment because I challenged the professor. Because I said, this is wrong. I started bringing up, and I talked about this on another podcast a little while ago. It was like Great Zimbabwe and all the kings and queens of Africa and these greatness that happened throughout the centuries on this continent. And the birth, the cradle of civilization. And I could go on and on and on. And this is stuff that I was writing in my paper saying that there's no reason for, people to hate each other. Look how great the greatness, and we've had greatness, and everybody's had greatness. Plus we've had failures. And we've had mess ups, we've done stuff wrong as nations, as peoples. Every people's done stuff wrong. So if you want to start hating people, then hate all people. You can't just pick one group of people that in history did one thing. And slavery in America was like 70 or 80 years total, if you really look at the numbers. When we were done, 1776, and when it was over, it was barely a blink of an eye in all of mankind's history. You want to talk about this kind of stuff really bothers me, But that's why I quit college. When I started seeing this hatred against people, I started seeing the same thing in the trans community about the labels and about hatred and about setting these labels up for failure. And I don't want to hate myself. And, so I started looking at all of this. And I put this entire ideology into the same group as CRT, that they're purposely separating people for whatever reasons and causing discontent and causing hate by labels, by mental health issues that are exacerbated into surgery, which we don't do for anorexia or any other, thing that's bodily issued, eating disorders. I don't see you doing teenagers surgeries for somebody who has an eating disorder. And I can go through this forever, but so that's a huge explanation of me, but you just have to understand that all of this happened. I would have been silent. I was already out of transgender 100% a while ago, and I understood for me, it was gender identity disorder. It was a mental health issue, which I can deal with. I can work on that. But if it's something that you tell me that's permanent, that's something that we're all born like this, we're all do this, and there's only one way to fix it. Well, that's bunk, because you're putting a blanket solution on every human being that shows up saying anything about being a tomboy or, hey, I like to wear, frilly and soft things sometimes. It makes me comfortable.